What's going on, YouTube? I'm the Mind Flayer Slayer.
And I'm Dr. DM, and this is Dragon Week. Today on Dragon Week, we are continuing our coverage of everything dragons. Today we're talking about the metallic dragons and their regional effects. These are really cool effects that take place 1 mile around the dragon's lair, and it's very important for you as a player and even as a DM to know how to tackle everything that goes around the lairs so you can be the most effective dragon slayer in your party and in the realms.
Dragon Week is brought to you by Ginny D and Pointy Hat, who are teaming up with a bunch of content creators so that we can talk about our favorite thing, dragons, all day long and celebrate the one true dragon,
Tiamat! No, it's Bahamut!
It's Bahamut!
And we're going to talk about Bahamut's good dragon friends, starting with the brass dragon.
Dragons of lore and rapport. Gregarious and outgoing, brass dragons relish sharing knowledge and stories. Although these metallic dragons favor arid lands, they cheerfully journey considerable distances to visit friendly creatures, pass on what they've learned, and collect news. Though good-natured, brass dragons don't shirk from combat when necessary, thwarting foes with magical sleep and searing them with flame.
And where do we find brass dragons? So their lairs are usually in secret caves and canyons near well-traveled routes. Okay, let's talk about the regional effects.
Mirages. While in its lair, the dragon can cast Major Image, requiring no material components and using the same spellcasting ability as its spellcasting action. When casting the spell this way, the spell's range is 1 mile, and the dragon doesn't need to see the spot where the illusion appears.
That's crazy.
That is wild.
This brass dragon is really going to mess with your mind, casting like infinite uses of Major Image. Of course, you can kind of see through images if you roll high enough, but if not, this could be kind of like a creepy adventure right in and around their lair.
Yeah, or a trippy experience going through the mirages of the desert.
That's awesome. I love this effect. So that could deter you maybe in their lair, but if not, if you're ready to take on this brass dragon or parlay with it, where it's going to be, there's something else it does.
Refreshing water. Water within 1 mile of the lair is magically refreshing. A creature that drinks such water gains 2d4 temporary hit points, and the dragon is immediately aware of the creature's presence. Okay, so this is interesting because of its awareness, its immediate awareness, but also because, I don't know about you, but most of the time when I just do something like, I don't know, check something out or try something, and it has like a healing effect, I'm like, what's going on? Something's a little fishy here. Yeah. So I actually think that this might deter characters rather than make them feel at ease, because it's like, this is too good to be true.
Interesting. So this is something you as a player need to be aware of. If you're drinking water and you're either on a hunt for a dragon or you're just somewhere lost in the desert and you're like, oh, this is great, I'm fully refreshed, but then the dragon is ready and now knows where you and maybe your whole party or caravan or whatever is. And yeah, the brass dragon is good, but does that mean your character is? Have you do something to piss it off? Keep in mind, not everything that seems good is good. Indeed. And this is one layer. So really cool effects for the brass dragon. It is clear here that it is a good dragon. It's not doing anything where it's actively harming your party necessarily, like we saw with the
it's not afraid of a fight.
That's right. So keep that in mind, and now you know how to spot the lair of a brass dragon.
Up next, we have bronze dragons, dragons of potential and preservation. Where bronze dragons dwell, wonders flourish. Imaginative yet mindful, these metallic dragons work toward greatness and help others achieve all that they can. They strive to preserve innovation from the work of past civilizations to new discoveries, and they share such works widely. When dealing with shorter-lived beings, bronze dragons prefer to win them over through conversation and cultivation, but they don't shy away from battle when villains keep others from achieving their potential.
Interesting. And how do we recognize a bronze dragon lair? Well, they usually make their homes near or under the sea. Under the sea. And let's talk about the regional effects.
Buoying currents. Creatures within 1 mile of the lair that lack a swim speed ignore the extra cost of movement while swimming.
Wow, this seems like kind of just a boon, right?
Yeah.
It could be interesting. You're going and doing a sea adventure, even if you're on a ship and the ship capsizes or something, and you suddenly feel that you are able to swim without any issue. Well, you could find some help there in the form of this dragon. Maybe some help, but maybe not. We have to see.
Great opportunity to use this in Delphqua if we ever revisit it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Awesome dragons for any kind of sea campaign. Yeah.
And then you also have Suns and Storms. While in its lair, a dragon can cast Control Weather, requiring no material components, and using its same spellcasting ability as its spellcasting action. When casting the spell, the dragon can control the weather within 1 mile of its lair, regardless if the dragon is inside or outside.
That's awesome. And we saw this kind of previously, where the dragon can do things like make a major image, even if it has no idea exactly where things are, but it can do it anyway, just through like a dragon sense.
I love this.
Very cool. And Control Weather is nothing to scoff at. It's an 8th level spell, and they can cast without material components as much as they want. And within 5 miles, of course, their lair is only 1, but it can do anything from create conditions such as like rain, hail, or snow, torrential rain, blizzard, heat waves, freezing, stormy winds. So if you have pissed off this dragon, yeah, you can swim a little better, but if you're just into like a maelstrom hurricane, it doesn't want you to get where you need to go.
You're gonna be in a tough position.
Yeah, so absolutely keep in mind of these things. If you were like, you see, oh wait, these currents are suddenly very plentiful or very, good-natured, well, that could change at a dime depending if the dragon wants to inure you with storms.
Yes. Now we have copper dragons, dragons of curiosity and community. Relentlessly friendly and curious, most copper dragons view the world as a place of endless wonder and possibility. These gregarious dragons are fonts of patience, hospitality, and humor, and they seek to improve the lives, or at least the mood, of those they interact with. If forced to fight to defend themselves or their friends, these dragons favor using their slowing breath and physical attacks to subdue antagonists. Only in cases of extreme peril or emotion do they use their deadly acid breath.
And we had a really awesome NPC that was a copper dragon Vex in their campaigns. It's very nice to have dragons sometimes be part of the party or kind of adjacent. They're really cool forces of nature in this way. Okay, where do we find copper dragon lairs? Typically, they inhabit multi-chamber caves and renovated ruins. Oh, renovated ruins, of course.
That's right. That's like ruins. Totally Vex.
Oh my god, that's so true. Let's talk about the regional effects so you can overcome them and understand them.
Chatty critters. Tiny beasts magically gain the ability to speak and understand Draconic while within 6 miles of the lair.
Whoa, usually lair effects, these regional effects are 1 mile, but now up to 6 miles. That's a huge swath where...
Just chatting away.
Yeah, and Draconic. So actually make sure you have a good bevy of languages understood by your parties, because definitely Draconic is going to be great. I wonder if you can actually even speak with animals and make this work, or if they only speak Draconic. Still pretty cool, but if you suddenly come up to like a chipmunk that's speaking Draconic in like a dragon language, you're like, wait a minute, there could be a dragon around.
There could be.
Yeah.
It's possible.
It could be a copper dragon around. What else?
Giggle fits. Whenever a creature other than the dragon and its allies is within 1 mile of their lair and rolls a 1 on a d20, it must succeed on a DC 15 wisdom saving throw or have the incapacitated condition until the end of the next turn as it is racked with laughter.
That's crazy. Okay, here's the thing I'll say. When we looked at chromatic dragons previously, they had like that mist or that acrid haze or debilitating effects that were pretty clear and obvious within the 1 mile, where you definitely don't want to rest there. Well, you'd probably have an idea something good will not happen, right? Unless your DM really obscures or whatever. But here, if you don't talk with any of the chatty critters, you might just be sleeping in the forest, and suddenly everyone wakes up just incapacitated by Tasha hitting you laughing. You're like, what the hell is going on? Like, seriously.
It's really fun.
The dragons
really
have
clever.
a good time with you. So this is a really fun effect, and it can come by surprise. So
yeah, absolutely. Up next, we've got gold dragons, dragons of hope and majesty. Gold dragons work to make the world a better place. The most powerful of the metallic dragons, these awe-inspiring dragons strive to protect that which is good and bend fate towards a brighter future. Their kind dispositions don't prevent gold dragons from engaging in combat when necessary. However, their kind dispositions don't prevent gold dragons from engaging in combat when necessary, and they exhale brilliant flames and weakening magic to rout their foes.
Very cool. Now let's talk about gold dragon lairs. Gold dragons make their homes in places of natural and magical wonder, and let's talk about what that looks like and what happens in there.
A dream messenger. While in its lair, the dragon can cast Dream, requiring no material components and using its charisma as a spellcasting ability. When casting the spell this way, the dragon can target any creature within 6 miles.
Whoa, that's a very long way. You might not even have any idea there's a gold dragon around, and suddenly
it's manipulating your dreams.
Yeah, which is cool. And Dream is a 5th level illusion spell. You target a creature, you have to know them, so he has to be aware of you. But maybe he could use some kind of animals or some kind of agent to be aware of you. And in the sleep, a messenger appears, and this even works when you're awake. So as long as the dragon is aware of you, it can cast this spell on you. And if needed, it can also do damage, psychic damage, by making the messengers of this dream be a terrifying event. So maybe your DM is going to use it to give you a clue of what's going on. Or maybe it's going to harm you in some way based on your past or the lore.
It's very interesting. I really like this.
Yeah, 6 miles. That's crazy.
Absolutely. You also have Foretelling Fog. The area within 1 mile of the lair is lightly obscured by opalescent fog. While in that area, creatures can be surprised as the fog swirls into shapes that warn of danger.
Wow, so this is a very positive effect, and of course, gold dragons are certainly good. So lightly obscured can go both ways for you and enemies, but can't be surprised. It's a huge effect. So maybe you can, I don't know, if there is a fight going on in this area, well, you can't be surprised. So don't expect anything surprising to happen.
And I think another thing that's really cool about this is, whether you're looking at the chromatic or the metallic dragons, is you could always turn these on their head. Maybe the gold dragon is being controlled by some other evil being, and so it has this strange twist on these effects, making it a little bit more formidable, so that even though a dragon that would normally be kind to you is causing these nightmares in an area, that could be a really cool idea for just an entire beginning section of a campaign.
Yeah, in fact, in the Tiamat campaigns, Rise of Tiamat and so forth, Tiamat is kind of like doing that, like twisting the dragon, so even a good dragon might be evil. And if your party is neutral or even has some evil players or evil backstory stuff, the dragon might be ready to mess with you. And maybe it's a fight that's not to the death, but it could be something that's going to be very dangerous for you and your party. Very interesting. What do we got last?
Silver dragons, dragons of courage and fairness. Silver dragons work to preserve peace and encourage greatness. They try to live as examples of decency while remaining watchful against evil.
And the silver dragon lairs are typically picturesque mountain retreats or on sculpted cloud islands. Wow, that is awesome.
I love that.
In fact, I think Bahamut's lair is actually Celestia on a sculpted cloud island. Very cool, very thematic. And let's talk about the regional effects for the silver dragon.
Gentle gusts. Winds buoy creatures that fall within 1 mile of the lair. Such creatures descend at a rate of 60 feet per round and take no damage from falling.
Okay, interesting. If you have to get in a fight or whatever around this area, I mean, you can maybe fight in the air, so that's kind of fun.
Fight in the clouds.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
You wake up and you're floating on a cloud, and then you try to get off of it, and you're falling, and then you're bouncing between clouds. This is gonna be really cool.
That's fun. And also, if you notice this effect, then you'll know you're in and around a silver dragon's lair. So keep that in mind, players.
Sun and storms. While in its lair, the dragon can cast control weather. So again, being able to manipulate the weather around an entire area is an incredibly powerful effect. And this is going to certainly have an impact. And you'll know that things can change on a dime, especially around a silver dragon.
Yeah, with how powerful they are, especially. And some of these things can really work in your favor, the control weather. If the dragon is on your side and there's like a horde of enemies coming towards you, and you go to the lair and fight them there together, where you and the good dragons can kind of put a very strong front of attack using all these cool effects. That's really awesome. Okay, well, this has been our review of all the regional effects that are very, very cool for chromatic and metallic dragons. And get ready, because we have way more content coming up for Dragon Week.
We'll see you next time.